If you look at the state of the testing environment, you have a lot of trading systems that have been around for a long time, and the ecosystem is very complex. You have a lot more connections than we've had in the past, and due to increasing regulations, there's actually more requirements for them to not only do more testing, but report on what testing they're doing before trading systems are upgraded and launched. So you're getting pressures not only from more complex systems, but also regulations that are coming down saying you have to do more testing. So now I think if firms haven't got a hold of testing, they're going to be behind, and it's going to be a competitive disadvantage to actually upgrading it and maintaining their trading systems going forward. If you look at the protocol testing solutions from the past decade, it's really been focused around a lot of manual testing, a tool that makes it easier to test protocols, but also they provided some facilities to write your own automated tests. And that was good for the early days where we had a lot of greenfield new trading system development, and you were building your tests as you were building your trading systems. But with today's environment, you have a lot of trading systems that are very mature. They have a lot of existing behavior, and that behavior is very apparent when you look at the message logs. You can see the production message log and see exactly what the system behaves like, and that's where Continuum steps in and says, okay, we're not going to make you write tests from scratch. We're going to take the information we have available to us and generate the tests, generate the data you need to create automated tests right out of the box. Well, when we're looking at trading system activities today, there's less development from scratch, greenfield development we call that, and there's more processes around migrations, integrations, and upgrades. So the classic examples of migration is we have a trading system that's been around for a long time. We have a lot of client connections, and we're actually going to completely change our trading system and move to a new trading system. And so with a migration, there's a lot of upheaval, a lot of change, and you really want to make sure that the existing trading system does not change and adversely affect clients that are currently connected. Similarly with integrations, you have these large firms who have maybe developed 40 separate trading systems across their organization, and now the key is how do we combine those so that our customers in the US can trade in Asia, and our customers in Asia can trade in Europe, and our customers who've classically been futures traders are now trading options and equities in other markets. And so there's a lot of business pressure to do these integrations so that they can upsell existing customers. And an integration process is very similar to a migration where you have maybe a whole new trading system separate from the other ones that you had before, and you want to make sure that there aren't any adverse changes to anybody who's currently trading. Well, I've visited a lot of customers, and what I've seen is that most people now have a repeatable process. It's mostly manual, and if we look at the testing maturity model, we really want to get up to a defined and an optimized maturity model where we have automated tests, we have a process to review what we're doing in testing and improve it and continuously improve it. And one thing that I think all firms can do today is do some type of automated testing. If it's just one test that's automated, in place and repeatable, you've already made the biggest step that you need to make. And after that, it's just adding another test and another test. And you'll be amazed to find that 18 months down the road, we have an automated suite of 300 tests, and last year we had nothing, right? So from the perspective of trading firms, just making that big first step to get automated testing in place is really what's needed. Well, this is a question that comes up a lot as well. We have a production log file, but there's a lot of bad behavior. Just because a trading system is working in production doesn't mean there's nothing wrong with it. And so what we actually do in Continuum is we analyze that data, and we look at stuff that passes through successfully. If it doesn't pass through successfully, we prune that data and say, okay, that data is not valid. There's also the question of if you have erroneous data in the production log, you could also have erroneous behavior where it's something that clients are doing today we don't want them to do. And in that case, we can prune that data after we've analyzed the log and say, okay, these are examples which we don't want that to work. And you can modify the test after the analysis is done. That's a good question. So when we talk about the analysis part, when we're generating tests, we can only generate what we see in the logs. So when you have a production log file, any behavior that's present in that log file, yeah, we can generate tests for that. but you might not have all the behavior represented in the current day's log file. And the important thing is to go back and say, okay, does this cover what our spec's saying that we support? And if not, we need to go in and actually write our own automated tests. So this will get us maybe 90% of the way through the testing, and we need to do additional tests as well.